Hi there, and welcome to the first look at the new TX-RZ830. This is the first in the range to benefit from the new chassis, which means there's a door to cover up all the less commonly used buttons, so you end up with a much cleaner look. So the RZ830 is THX certified, which means it will get you as close to what the artist intended you to see and hear on the screen. And obviously the RZ830 fully supports Dolby Atmos and DTS:X to give you best in class object-based surround sound. So let's quickly run through the front panel to see what we've got. So on the left hand side of the receiver we've got a listening mode dial and a tone control dial. Pressing the button activates the actual mode, and then you can actually use the rotational button to cycle through the different options. Now when the pure audio mode is actually engaged, you'll get a bright blue light next to it, but what it will also do is shut down all of the video circuitry and all of the other channels except the stereo left and right. We've done this to give you the absolute cleanest possible sound for stereo music listening. Then on the right hand side of the 830 we've included a large non-illuminated volume dial and a grouping of input buttons. These are also non-illuminated, and the reason we've done that is so that when you're in a darkened room watching a movie you don't have big bright lights distracting you away from the important thing, and that's what's on the screen. Now hidden behind the door are the less commonly used buttons. You've got your navigation keys up, down, left, right, enter and return. You've also got your auxiliary HDMI input, headphone jack and a number of other buttons that you're not going to need all the time. The setup mic is also included behind the door, and I wanted to leave this to last because we've added something rather special, and that's the new AccuEQ Advanced microphone setup system. Now there will be a standalone video for this, but right now I want to cover some of the basic advancements that we've done to this system. But right now I want to cover the main advantages using the advanced EQ system. The biggest difference is there are now 3 measuring points to increase that sweet spot. Then there's a background noise correction, and that improves the signal to noise ratio. And then lastly, the parametric EQ has been changed to a graphic EQ. These are just the highlights of the new AccuEQ Advanced. As I said before, there'll be a complete standalone video on this new exciting bit of technology. On the back of the RZ830 we've got a detachable AC power lead, so this will enable you for more complicated installs, or alternatively you can put a high-end audiophile grade power lead on there. It also has 6 HDMI outputs on the back and the one that you've previously seen on the front, and as you'd expect the 830 has 2 HDMI outputs. The second output can actually be configured to be used within the main system, so you switch between main and sub, or alternatively you can select it for zone 2, which means it will be independent from what's being used in the main room. The 830 also fully supports Dolby Vision, HDR and HDCP 2.2. Also mounted on the back of the RZ830 is an RS-232 connection and an IR in jack, so you can connect up your IR blaster kit or even the high-end Crestron or AMX control systems without any bother at all. Or alternatively, if you're connected to a network, you can use our control app to mimic the remote control and much more. And now I actually want to cover some of the sound aspects of the RZ830. First and foremost, this is a 9.2-channel AV receiver. Couple that with the THX certification and 180 watts per channel. This really does become a formidable AV receiver, not just for movie, but for music as well. We've also added pre-outs, so in conjunction with the amplification built in, you can achieve full 11.2 Dolby Atmos or DTS:X processing. Or alternatively, you could actually use the RZ830 as a preamp and connect up power amps. There's also a number of legacy connections on the back of the 830 for you. You've got 6 analog stereo inputs plus a dedicated phono input because there's a built-in moving magnet board. There's 2 optical digital inputs and 1 coaxial digital input. And then for video we have 2 component inputs and 2 composite video inputs. There's no video scaling within the RZ830, but there is up conversion. So if you go in component, you will actually come out HDMI. And then finally, for the analog section, we've got the AM and FM built-in tuner. And then finally on the back, we have the USB connection and the networking connection, whether that's either Ethernet or via wireless. Now in this part of the video I'm going to be talking a little bit about the multi-room audio side of things in regards to the RZ830. Now back in the old days, if you wanted to run sound to another part of the house, what you would actually have to do is connect up speaker cables from your amp, run them all the way to wherever they're going to go, let's say the bathroom, and connect up a pair of speakers. And with the 830 you can still do that, and we're going to call that Zone 2, and we're going to actually power it from the 830 itself. But it doesn't actually stop there, because you can connect up another powered zone to the output of the 830, and that's the powered Zone 3. So if you have this existing setup at home already and you're looking to upgrade your AV amp, then the RZ830 will actually do this for you without any problem at all. But the only downside to this is you cannot run Atmos in this particular configuration, because you've used two sets of the channels to actually run your remote speakers. So that leaves you with just 5.1 in the main listening room, which is going to be fine for some people because they're not interested in Atmos, they just want to improve on the sound quality that they already have. Or alternatively, some people aren't going to like it, and for those people I've got a solution coming up for you very shortly. But the only problem with this configuration is actually controlling the volume and the sources that you listen to. Traditionally you would have an IR blaster system set up, or you'd have to run around the house all the time adjusting the volume and the inputs. But by simply hooking up the AV amp to your Wi-Fi, you can now actually use the Onkyo app controller to control every aspect of the multi-room and the AV amp. So for people who want to have the 7.2.4 Dolby Atmos or DTS:X in the main room and have the Zone 2, this is how we go about doing it. Don't worry, it's a lot simpler in practice. I just need to get all the information across. All you need to do is run the signal cables from here, the pre-line outs from Zone 2 and Zone 3, to the auxiliary in on an amplifier which is in the room that you want to hook up, and a speaker cable from that amplifier to your speakers. And that way you've preserved all of the channels in the main room, and you've added on the separate two rooms, Zone 2 and Zone 3, to give you multi-room audio. Yep, there's always more, and if you're starting from absolute scratch in regards to multi-room, there's a whole host of things that the RZ830 that can do to help you. With the inbuilt DTS Play-Fi and the Flare Connect, you're not actually restricted to the amount of rooms that you can use. You just need to make sure that the secondary device in the other room is either Flare Connect or DTS Play-Fi enabled, and that's it. We've also provided our normal networking services such as TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Deezer and Tidal. There's also AirPlay and the DLNA music server, so you can stream music from your PCs and Macs. And then finally, Chromecast is built in and it works with the Google Assistant. And you have full access to Amazon Music. And don't forget, you can get all of the apps that are necessary for all of the control or streaming or whatever it is that you need from the App Store or the Google Play Store. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really does make a difference. Hope you've enjoyed it. Take care. See you next time. Bye bye.